to be? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the UK with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday. And today on the show, we are time traveling back to Britain circa 2004 when the worst thing you could be in the eyes of society was council housed and violent. We're talking Asbos, Vicky Pollard, Am I Bothered, and the demonization of the British working class. So put on your Burberry caps and don your finest fake gold jewelry. Because this week on the podcast, our main topic is Chavs in it. I'm Charlotte McDonald, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host, it's Libby Watson.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. And I'm not scared at all to say the wrong thing. I'm not already scared to say the wrong thing.
Why don't you just say in it now, just to sort of get it out of your system? Because I feel like that's safe. Yeah?
Yeah. I'm wondering, you know what? I'll save it. I have a story to tell about a chav, and I'll save it.
Can't wait for Libby's chav story. How are you doing otherwise, Libby? Are you happy? Are you well, dear Libby?
I mean, you know the answer to that.
You're on your period, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we recorded a different episode yesterday and you're on your period. I guess that's not over yet. Still learning how that whole thing works, you know?
They usually last about 12 to 16 hours, yeah. No, I'm fine, Charlotte. I'm drinking a coffee. I've been off coffee all week. And that I was like, you know what? What the fuck am I doing? I need coffee. So I'm drinking from my very nice... Look at my beautiful mug, Charlotte. You can't see this if you're only listening to the podcast. But of course, you can now watch the video for free on YouTube, can't you, Charlotte?
Yes, we've decided we're going to really do our YouTube channel for real now, I promise. So it's youtube.com/@whatsallthispod. You can see every main feed episode and see Livy's lovely mug. And
my lovely mug. Get it?
Yeah, and face. And you might have also...
and her lovely mug.
You might also have seen the lovely mug of our guest today. He's a comedian. Host of the podcast What a Time to Be Alive. You can catch him streaming as pig_dog on Twitch. And you can also find a special humble offering on YouTube. Welcome to the show, Eli Yudin. How you doing?
Good, I'm good. How are you? I'm glad to hear that you guys are doing well generally. Libby, this is like the most like immediate. I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this, but I've been kind of like, have you seen this rash of videos that's popped up on YouTube now of the men trying the period pain, there's a device that does it to you.
We just talked about this yesterday.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. I assume there's a huge amount of, I assume there's a huge amount of, like being like, yes, watching it. Because even me watching it, I clearly don't have the yes from my side, but I did have like an oh no, where I was like, I think that we are in for a reckoning. Like now that we can feel this.
It's time.
Finally, yeah. No, that is fun. I do kind of want to. Weirdly, I want to try it on myself because I want to know whether it is right.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Actually, I need confirmation.
I need
from
confirmation
someone who gets them. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I'm sure.
I saw one of them was at some sort of convention or something. They were doing it. I don't know what convention it was. I think it was more electronics based.
The
or
period
whatever.
Convention, yeah.
But they'd had they had people come by and like do it, and there were like 3 women working at the booth, and so they had all done it, and they were like, they knew their numbers for what to turn it to. And there was like 2 of them that were like 4 or 6 or whatever. And then there was one woman who was like the final boss where like, if you beat that, she was like, hi, I have endometriosis. I'm a 10. And then it was just, there was this guy who was like, like a security guy. And you could see he was just like, oh, like he got to 6 and would not turn it any further.
God damn.
It's a good content. And even though it's YouTube watching someone suffer, which is usually not good for growth, this one is, because it's actually broadening your horizons.
That's right. It's praxis is what it is to watch those videos. Yeah.
I saw what a very bubbly YouTube guy, like who's usually like, what's up? Ha ha ha. And he turned it up and he slammed his hand into a wooden table and then like clenched his fingernails into the wood like he was a king who'd just been told his son had been killed in battle. Like he was so upset. So I feel like we have to pitch it to our podcast, or I have to pitch it to our podcast.
Could you just buy the device like yourself then? Is that what people are doing?
I think it's more of like a muscle tension device, and you just put it somewhere. You just put it in a place where they're like, well, it'll do something to
That
you,
makes
but it's
sense.
not.
Yeah. I've had that at physical therapy where they do the I've forgotten what it's called, but they basically put electrodes on you and put a small electrical current through you, and it feels weird, but I didn't have like a very they weren't trying to hurt me. I guess what they were trying to do was theoretically at least good. It's just like stimulation to release the muscle tension or whatever, which can hurt. There's also
Sometimes they are trying to hurt you at physical therapy.
Often it feels that way. They're at least trying to hurt you emotionally when they say, "All right, is that how you normally sit?" For example.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, you just called up a memory I had squirreled away for a good reason, which is I'd messed up something and I went to the doctor for it, and they did kind of physical therapy. Do you remember why I went? I think it's general unhealth, which is usually the thing.
Yeah,
I get that.
And I walked across the room. I'd never thought about this in my life. And the nurse goes, "You take really short strides." Do you know that? Like, what? Apparently, I'm like on still. And it's like even worse because I'm like a very tall guy. So it's like I must look.
Tottering
And then
along.
it was like everyone was working together to terrify me, because then like after that, it was in college and somebody else was like noticed me from across the street and they're like, "Yeah, I clocked you because of your walk." And I was like, "Oh my
no.
God."
Whoa.
And I was like, "What is my walk?"
Not the clocked walk. Damn, that's
clocked
tough.
by the walk.
Yeah,
That's no good at all.
I've
You
been
gotta
told.
start walk maxing, right?
Yeah,
Get that good stride going,
It
powerful.
can be fun sometimes.
Hit my knees with hammers. And
Yeah.
walk max.
It can be
Yeah.
fun sometimes to just sort of do a little bit of a different walk. Like if you're walking with your partner or something, and you just kind of like hit them with the sort of jaunty shoulders or whatever, and they're like, "What are you doing?" You just like
Hit him with the R crumb, the keep on trucking. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I just found out through, I feel like coming on, I don't know how big your British listenership is versus American, but I feel like if people listen to our podcast, we do, as you say, slag off. Is that the correct term?
Yes. I
The
can guess
British
so.
for a number of things quite frequently.
I know. Yeah,
so I feel
that's
like
okay.
I have to, bow my head when I get in here. we were confronted at nicely, very nice guys who we did a live show, which we do rarely, but we did do one. And some two guys from the UK had come. I don't think they came for it, but they were like, it worked out. They happened to be there. And they were like, "We have to tell you, it is snooker. It's not snooker. You keep saying snooker, and it's not." And we were like, they were delightful though. They were
Snooker.
It was back in my drinking days, and the show was at a bowling alley, and we drank a bunch of beer and bowled with them.
That's
or
lovely.
Skittles, I suppose.
No,
Another
still,
insane
still
one.
bowling.
We
for us.
have bowling
Still
and
bowling?
Skittles,
Bowling.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
What the
right.
Wait. Time out. What is Skittles? I thought that was candy.
Is it not like sort of like smaller scale bowling in in the back of a pub? Did you not experience that?
It's pins, and I know 'cause
Pins, okay.
Taskmaster told me this, so that's where
Okay.
all of my knowledge comes from.
Yeah.
Which I was also going to say,
understandable.
just learn that you guys, is it instead of skipping, it's trotting? The same movement that we would call skipping here? Or are they just lying? Maybe
No, I think-
Taskmaster has
No.
a
That
secondary
was a joke,
motivation.
I think.
Yeah, no,
Right.
they got you good with that one, unfortunately.
They do joke on that show. They do like to have fun.
They
So-
they do. I think they should be a bit more serious actually on Taskmaster. I think they should take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, I'm on there. The first thing they asked me to do, I'm like, this is actually a really fucked up thing to ask somebody to do. I don't think you should do
What
this.
do you mean? That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah, well, actually, I had a close family member pass away by trying to fit marbles in a jar. So it's kind of insanely rude of you to ask me to do this.
Well,
Trying to
look.
fill a bathtub with water. So
Look, I'll say we are certainly used to the seemingly now widespread American disregard for Britishness and British people and stories from Britain and everything, and we get it. I think our position on this podcast is not, why would you say that about us? It's yes, but
also you suck though, right?
we're
As well.
nice.
Don't forget that. Yeah.
and there's some, and then sometimes Mr. Bobby's funny.
Yes.
who's
Mr.
Mr.
Bean.
Bobby?
Mr. Bobby.
Mr.
Sorry.
Bobby.
Mr.
And that's
Blobby.
correct as well. I need you to believe that it's called Mr. Bobby for like a year until you talk to your other British friends again.
Let me show you
no,
Mr. Blobby.
Yeah, Mr. Blobby was originally sort of invented as like a parody of children's TV characters and then kind of became one. He's like a big pink guy with huge like eyes and eyelashes who's covered in yellow spots who just fucks shit up and says Mr. Blobby.
Okay, I like him.
Yes.
But I don't like the eyelashes. Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is... And again, I don't want to come in here as an enemy, but this is like exactly what I thought he'd look like. It's just... You guys are so bad at mascots, man. Like, you gotta get it together. I feel like it's always a horrible, like, the eyelashes specifically.
Yes.
And then... the lips and the nose is all just too, like...
He's fucked up, you know?
He's fucked up looking, yes. And it is funny because he is supposed to look fucked up because he's a joke character. But he is also, I think, quite a good parody, quite an accurate parody of how, like, shitty and low budget British children's TV is. Like, Charlotte, did you ever watch Rainbow?
I don't think I caught Rainbow, no. I mean, I watched a lot of, like... Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men.
Come on, you can't say that to an American. We have to wait for a British guest to say that.
I'm sorry, it was the first one that came to my mind, but I did.
This is, I feel the trap you guys are stuck with. Where you're like, well, actually, I think that if you gave Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men a chance, I think you'd find it quite charming. Also, just for to encourage people maybe to go check out your video, the picture of Mr. Blobby, I'd say also there's a context issue where, like, what's making him even freakier is that he's like a big cartoony blob man. But like, take a photo of him in like a fantastic backdrop where it's him leaning on like a very worn piece of park equipment, and it just makes it look
he's just
even,
in the real world. He's
waiting
be.
there. Yeah.
Okay, here's a picture of Zippy from Rainbow.
Oh shit! Yes, I do remember Zippy.
And this is a real one. This isn't meant to be like a joke. This is meant to be like, oh, aren't British children's characters so funny? This is like, kids are gonna love this. It's a creature made of what looks like a very old couch or towel. His mouth is a zip. And then which
has been kind of taken completely by a different lifestyle of the mouth zip thing. I think at this point people are like, okay, we know what Zippy's
it all started here with Zippy.
You couldn't do Zippy nowadays, I don't think. But to give you a sense of how rubbish they look, the eyes are kind of askance, is that the word I'm looking for? Askew, staring in different directions.
It's just, you can see the like three pieces of felt sort of glued onto the towel to make Zippy, unfortunately.
Right. I'll also say
go ahead.
Zippy just hasn't been cleaned. Like the white felt is visibly dirty in this photo. So that could help, maybe.
You can't give Zippy, he's like a gremlin. You can't give Zippy a bath, otherwise he'll turn into a bunch of other Zippies. I mean, look, I think this is good context for why when I started watching The Simpsons, I was like, holy shit.
TV can be good.
Can telly be good?
Just kidding.
Yeah. No, literally, yeah. And, one day we'll do an episode, I think, Charlotte, about how much British people love The Simpsons. We fucking adore.
Yeah, we should do that, honestly.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
6 p.m. Channel 4, The Simpsons. I mean, there was we loved our American television.
The old Simpsons, like the golden age, whatever people say, is like very British in its kind of humor. I feel like a little bit like the Conan O'Brien style, like jokes are very, and I couldn't resist the Barb, but I'm like a big British comedy fan. I think it's currently in a way better place than American comedy is. So, and those panel shows, my God, like please, like, just the opportunities that you have for comedians who are kind of famous. Good God, I wish those existed in the U.S. Just get me on. And they tried it and they ruined it. Because I love Taskmaster. And I kept being like, why didn't they try to make an American Taskmaster? And someone was like, they did. You don't remember? And it was horrible because they keep trying to do panel shows, but then they do the thing where they're like, but we need some juice. We need a hot property on it. And it's those shows are specifically, you have to be so quick and so good at like banter. And then they're like, so it's Taskmaster, but instead of a comedian who can be funny, it's DJ Dylan Francis. And it's like, it's him sitting in a chair, like not being able to add a lot to the conversation for a season. It was,
basically, I think what needs to happen is that if they're going to do American Taskmaster, it just has to be done by Dropout and be, orders of magnitude less money. Because I guess that's the thing. It's like, British telly is less money than American telly. We got less money for stuff. So I imagine the other problem being that like famous people here won't work for us as little.
Yeah, and also just
you'd be surprised.
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, famous, yeah, but I mean, there's like very little money and a lot of stand-ups that you probably would expect to be like that. I'm like, they're not getting paid as much as you think for most of the stuff they do.
I'm thinking about like because the good people on panel shows in the UK, it'd be on the BBC and whatever. And yeah, we had some like pretty high-profile comedians that were bad. But when you think about like the most famous comedians in America, they're awful. Like they're really, really bad.
Right.
Like the people who are selling out.
I don't want to
say any of them, but
yeah, I don't want to hear them like when they're at their most sort of like succinct and like their material has been like worked to death.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't want to hear their sort of off the cuff remarks on like, would I lie to you?
Very generous to think that their material has been worked to death. I think their material has been worked not at all.
Yeah.
And it's generous to call it material most of the time. It's like.
For sure.
Greg Davis would have to be like, can you stop just like kind of looking for funny looking people in the audience to talk to? Like we're doing a show here.
Trying to do
just
crowd
asking
work.
Alex Horn what he does for work. He's like, this show, what are you talking about? I do Taskmaster.
Matt Rife, like just picking up the mic and walking up to the audience and being like, so what would you do in this situation? Oh, I bet you'd be a slut about it,
Yeah, really, really high level stuff.
Yeah.
But I do love. Well, this is also like my tradition and I feel like our whole podcast is every time we go on someone else's podcast, we take them on a wild tangents and then we forget to what we're supposed to talk about. So I want to apologize.
Hey, don't worry.
But this is the part of the show designated to just doing this. So you're good.
Yeah.
Because something you said popped. I was walking my dog and thinking about the differences between our countries. I was doing what you call, prep work. And something you said, we called out one of them because you were like, at this point, it's like when Americans make fun of Britain, it's like, you're also bad and we're both. And I was thinking about, obviously it's been many years since the Revolutionary War, but I think like today, if we got in a 1v1, like minus the global economy and what it would do and things like that. But if just America and the UK at this point were like scrapping it out 1v1, like a dirty fight in a pit, so many countries in the world would be like, yes, dude. Like, yes. That meme with the kid smoking the bubbler, looking at the two people fighting on the ground, they'd be like, yes, finally, you guys do it to someone your own size, like
it's
sort of
a
thing.
Reverse Alien versus Predator. It's like whoever loses, we win.
Yeah.
Hopefully they kill each other.
Right.
Kind of
Put us on a space station. Like, what is it? Where did Freddy and Jason fight? Just like one of those. That'd be good.
We're both pretty bad. And thank God that I'm both British and American. Couldn't have made two better choices.
Oh God, what side would you take in the war, Libby?
Yeah.
Who would you in the Olympics? Who would you represent? You'd have to forsake one country.
Yeah, this has become an increasingly interesting question throughout my life as the World Cup rolls around. Because people get mad at me for still having just a little bit of just a very quiet. Come on, England. Just, come on, England. Come on, England.
It's hard to not be at your most patriotic when you're watching England play football. I just got into it.
I wouldn't even say patriotic. I just find it's just something where I want them to win.
Right.
I can't help it.
Sure.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
I just, I think of my nan. Just think of my nan. It would make my nan happy,
Yeah.
That's all it is, really, isn't it?
And then you get into the like every fight song I feel like has one line that they're like, I don't think we're supposed to say that part anymore or whatever, And they're like, and to hold other countries by the throat into the dirt, and you're like, let's cut that.
Yes.
Now we're just having fun.
Yes,
playing,
we'll stand on them until their eyes burst, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, I will say British football chants pretty good, and you know why? Because the best one we have is we're shit and we know we are, I think is the line.
Oh, good.
Really, really good. I like that. I don't think you'd ever get that in fucking what's an American place? Quickly, what's an American place? Ohio.
Oh, I thought you were saying the word quickly. I'm like, where is quickly? Yeah. I mean, you kind of do. Actually, Ohio, yeah, the Browns do. There are a couple. I think there's probably a kinship that they wouldn't realize of like, and I think one thing that Americans would really respect is like the people who are fans of an absolute, and I hope we can curse on here. I don't know if you guys are like hitting the same audience as Zippy and Mr. Blobbo?
Mr. Blobley.
Mr. Blobley.
Yes. Is like someone who is just born into and forever a fan of a thoroughly dogshit franchise that is just like, and you guys are even further with like relegation where it was like, my team isn't even allowed to play the good teams. Like we're so bad they won't play against us. Yeah. So I think there's some common ground, you know, like a Browns fan could find with, I don't know, what's the classic punching bag of the football world?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Yep. They can't even choose one name. They can't get it together.
I think you know. Let me quickly ask Lewis, because Lewis, my husband, is a big footy head. So I'm going to ask him to weigh in. What's a classic bad British football team?
What is because the Browns
Manchester
is like the
United.
No, Charlotte.
Chelsea.
No.
Trying to think of a third football team.
You can do it.
Crystal Palace. I only
Tottenham
remember
Hotspurs.
Crystal Palace is such a fucking good net. Honestly,
That is good.
Yeah.
I just like because it's like something. Every time I hear it, I see it pop up in my vision, like you walked into a new area in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Like, the Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I know it fits.
And there's like a horrible rat that spins at you out of a corner and kills you, made of crystal. It's a very vivid experience. For me.
Now that's
You got to use a strike weapon for that. You know, if you come in with a standard attack, it's just gonna bounce right off the big rat made of crystals.
Eli,
no pierce damage.
Did I dream that you were playing Sekiro on stream?
That would be an insane dream, but no, it is real.
Yes.
I do like that. Just like your dream is now just an Twitch stream.
Eli, it's lovely to meet you. Happy to have you here. Yeah, if that was your dream, Libby, then I would be concerned.
A lot of my dreams are very mundane.
I am playing
I wondered if I'd
Sekiro.
imagined it because I recently started replaying it. I wondered if I just sort of transferred that onto you, another person.
No, I started because I played it before and I stopped about halfway through. Not because I didn't like it. I think something else came out and I just forgot to finish it or whatever.
That's exactly the boat I'm in.
The beginning of it, saying that you just restarted, the beginning of it is fucking brutal and horrible. I kind of forgot like how much. I think, you know, for all the things there's like people can learn, you know, it's not as hard as you think. And I'm like, that one fucking sucks in the beginning.
Yes.
Like the first fight is the gank fight where they're like, here's a boss and here's 12 guys who are going to just kind of poke you while you're trying to do it. And Stream is good because it keeps you from, there's an amount of pride involved that keeps you from just being like, fuck this guy. I'm not doing this.
Yes. I go back and forth on whether it's worse to play it off stream or on stream, because when you're just getting mad silently in your house, like that sucks. Or worse, when I'm getting mad out loud to Lewis, but he's not saying anything because what can he say? Like, oh, sure, honey, that was bullshit. He's just sitting there on his computer. Oh, breaking
just
news.
silently eating dinner while you're going off about Juzo the drunkard again.
Okay, but fuck that guy.
That's what I'm saying. That fight is horrible.
Evil.
Absolutely.
Which one is that?
horrible.
I'm trying to remember.
Big guy with the poison.
In the burning
jug.
estate, the Hirata estate, and he's got
that
a big
was easy
sword.
for me.
Oh, all right, well,
No, I
somebody
actually
loves
can't
getting
remember.
poisoned, I guess.
It's just good to say that, isn't it?
It's great, and everybody loves it, Charlotte, when you say that. Breaking news from Lewis on the bad British football team. Well, this year it's definitely Sheffield Wednesday. Points for Libby for listening to her husband about football stuff. There's a week left in the season. They have 1 win, 9 draws, and 30 losses. They have negative points because they broke financial rules. So Sheffield Wednesday is the joke of the year in football.
There you go.
And we're going to skip right over the easy joke of 9 draws being an insane thing to happen over a season. Just 9 ties. It's like, oh, well, yeah, you got to tune in.
Yes. 9
so much fun
completely
to watch.
pointless games. Yeah, exactly,
Well, Eli, you mentioned knocking a hammer into your legs when we were talking about walks maxing earlier, and that's weirdly relevant to today's British thought. You ready for the British thought, Libby?
Yes.
Here it is.
Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
British thought of the week.
That's right, Charlotte. It's British Thought of the Week. And this week's British Thought of the Week is, why would you let someone kick your shins? Well,
Eli?
Is this just a sort of what would it take? What would be equal to that pain for me? What would I get in return? Or
we're not going back to the period thing. No, this
yeah,
is...
okay. That's what it feels like, right? It's in the shins?
It's
mostly in the shins?
Yes. That's right. That's where it is.
It goes down there. Okay. Yeah, or is this just, are people getting kicked in the shins over there? Is this a thing that's happening?
Funny you should ask. Yes, for the last
This is your
400
knockout
years...
game, is getting kicked in the shins by a kid?
Okay, yeah, kind of, no. In the Cotswolds, where both Charlotte and I are from, the beautiful, maybe most beautiful part of England, let's say.
It's nice.
I think it rocks, and is also probably quite evil, and it's where maybe sort of a lot of the most evil people are from. But we are also from there. There is a thing called the Cotswold Olympic Games, which was first held in 1612, and one of the, I was going to say sports, but it's not really a sport, it's a game. One of the games they play at the Cotswold Olympic Games is shin-kicking.
Okay.
Does that sound normal to
Yeah.
you? Do you think that sounds good?
For like those sort of like antiquated, like borderline Olympic things, I feel like there is a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff with like clubs.
Yep.
It's not, I mean, there's like slap fighting for a minute here, and I feel like we have like log rolling. So this isn't so outlandish that there's some sort of, like weird old competition. Climbing a greased pole is like a thing, there are these things. Shin kicking, it does. It weirdly does throw in. It's like, do you guys have Bloody Knuckles over there as a kid's game?
Like
What's
the one where you flick like coins into each other's knuckles or something else?
That's like a variation.
Okay.
So, Bloody Knuckles was a game that you'd play like when I went to public school. So this was like, we didn't have like a lot of things on the playground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And thank you for saying math. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
There were two variations on it, but basically it would just be, you would take turns punching the other person's hand, like knuckles to knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
And you just take turns until someone said, I don't want to play this anymore. And that meant they lost. And I also remember there being Bloody Knuckles. And I'm from DC, so I don't think this is accurate, but there used to also be called New York style. And New York style was, instead of punching straight on, you would take your knuckles and like slap them from the top down on the other person's knuckles. And that hurts a lot more. And
yeah.
so it was more serious of a game.
I feel like maybe I definitely did the coins one. I feel like we maybe also did it New York style.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. I was surprisingly good at Bloody Knuckles, I will say.
It's a pain tolerance thing, I think. And like, isn't that one of the things that like the manosphere would like hate to admit, is that like women have a higher pain tolerance at base?
Yes, they do hate that.
We're all coming back to our initial discussion, but I think this is such a toxic thing to think about it, but I think it was the one with the coins. I think the problem with the coins one was it would break the skin, and so you'd have to explain it to your parents more often. Like if you came home and you had like cuts, your parents would be like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll explain shin kicking in a minute, but I do want to say it for our school, it was slaps. Charlotte, did you have slaps where you have your hands like this?
Did do slaps, yeah.
And then you just have to sort of slap the other person, but if you do this and they move, then they've lost somehow.
Right,
Yeah,
you could like
too.
psych them out by looking like you're gonna slap them, but not. Yeah.
And then I think, did I tell this story on the podcast, or was it maybe the Lost episode we did with Demi, where I told the story about the card game we had, where it was you turn over an entire deck of cards one by one, and if it was, I think we called it torture. The game was called torture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember this.
We called it torture, and if it was a spade, you would slap them. If it was a club, you would, what was it?
Hit them with a club.
You would club them. Yeah, exactly.
Club them.
You maybe punch them, and if it was a diamond, you would pinch them. But then if it was a heart, you stroke their hand.
See, that's nice.
Really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Really fucking weird game. Anyway, shin kicking is, I would say, maybe a little bit less weird than that, but still pretty weird. Essentially what happens is that it's almost always blokes, but some blokes stuff straw in their trousers, which wasn't always the case, but has, I can't remember how long they've been doing the straw thing. Some decades. Stuff straw in their trousers and kick each other in the shins until one person relents or falls over, essentially. I've got a little video if we want to check that out.
Great.
Yeah, let's have a little look. But
How's
it is
that
pretty
not
similar, because this has been like on our list of weird stuff that British people do for quite a while. And we're just finally getting around to it now. It is like the games can be pretty short. It's just about when you give up because it hurts too much, basically, right?
Yep. So this is from Brit Clip on YouTube.
They should sneak in like a Thai guy, a Muay Thai guy, and just absolutely shatter everybody's shit.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so we've got some blokes wrestling each other. He's just fallen down.
Is that part of it? Or they're just roughhousing?
I think I just kind of went in the wrong moment. Okay, so you can see here their jeans are full of straw.
I really like the sort of we're just straw men look that they've got going on
We're
here.
scarecrows, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like two scarecrows fighting.
Yeah,
at this
exactly,
point. Yeah.
Ugh. And you can see they're kicking each other in the shins. There's a crowd of people watching. Straw flying all over the place.
Could you do more noises like that, Libby? Ugh. Just to illustrate it to the listeners. Because, I mean, you can just hear a crowd, but it is just two guys wrestling, basically. Why is he taking off his top?
No, it was being pulled off. Let me go back.
Oh, being pulled off. I got it.
So I thought this was kind of a more organized turn-based thing. Turn-based combat?
No, it's a grapple.
Yeah, because they've got the kind of hockey style, like shirt grip on both, and they're just kicking away. So, yeah, I mean, I assumed it was like a pain tolerance thing where you took turns. This, I don't understand why they're doing it at all. This just seems like it proves nothing to anybody.
Let's watch a little bit more.
They've really got their jeans are exactly where you think they are, where they're like, it's like low cut in the back. This just like kind of normal guy jean that always shows the ass crack immediately comes running down.
I just need to go back for a second so you hear what this guy says.
My balls are killing me.
Now again, you wouldn't think during shin kicking that his balls would be killing him, would you? But I guess sometimes it gets a little violent. Let's get some more full on footage here.
No, that's a shin kicking guy.
Yeah, the blokes with the sticks, who are named, by the way, the referees are called sticklers.
Okay.
Okay, that's fun.
That's good. That's funny.
Funny that.
Yeah, no, Brick Clip's having a bit of fun with this.
So they're both just kind of like grabbing each other's like shoulders.
Yeah.
And then just sort of attempting to kick in the shins. There's honestly, like, watching it, there's not quite as much shin kicking as I thought there would be.
It's
and are the teams delineated by the wash of their jeans? Is this like light wash, dark wash kind of a battle here?
We got the stone wash versus the acid wash. I'm stone wash all the way. No, I think a lot of it seems to be about your positioning, you know? How do you look? I'll just say it.
Such a gamer take on this. It's all positioning. It's about aggro management, and
You have to know your attack animations, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can see this guy's
cards.
two-handing his shin kicks here.
Yeah.
Can we see their item? What are they buying? What did they buy each round? And okay,
this idiot's got 2 shields equipped. What's that about?
What?
We
the Elon Musk Dark Souls build.
Yes, the Elon Musk
shin-kicking?
Elden Ring build. Yes, I mean, just iconic stupidity there. I was so happy to play Elden Ring for the first time and then understand why that was so stupid.
Yeah.
That was a big moment for me.
I think at one point on our podcast, I had to explain to the other hosts who don't really play games and like why that was so insane of a build, and then just maximum equip load. That's a very important stat. Get that as high as you can. Yeah.
Oh god, so stupid. Well, Charlotte and I know a lot about this now because for this week's finest episode, we talked to the world shin kicking champion, Matt Newby.
He's
also
available?
known.
Mike.
He's available. Mike. Shit, did I call him Matt? Oh god.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I had sort of been like leading up to the interview
Mike,
that
I'm
you
so
guys will hear
sorry.
on Thursday. Because I was like, I've got to introduce him, and I kept on introduce in my rehearsals because I was nervous about us doing an actual interview with someone like relevant to our podcast for the first time. I kept on calling him Matt every single time. And again, Eli, it's lovely to have you here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a big deal for us to be like the shin-kicking world, 3-time shin-kicking world champion has gotten in touch, and we get to talk to him for the podcast.
He reached out to us. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, so are you guys sitting on an interview in which you call them by the wrong name the entire interview?
No.
Okay, all right, okay. I was like, that would be incredible.
We nailed
What a
it
nice
during
guy.
the actual interview, but I do think he needs to change his name to Matt now, just because clearly that's what his name is supposed to be. If we both called him Matt and his name is Mike, I don't know, just a question. But
you can also call him Shindiana Jones, which is the
Yes.
name that he goes by.
yes, that is the name he goes by. He is a 3-time champion at shin kicking,
Wow.
and you can listen to the full interview on our Finest feed at the Patreon. But I will say that I think one of the biggest takeaways was that he is just a little bit better at thinking about it, and basically everyone else goes in going, "Whoa, I just want to kick some blokes in the shin, don't I?
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
kick some shins."
He has strategy.
He
Yeah,
has strategy,
okay.
yes, exactly.
He truly just thought about it a little bit more
He thought
than
about it
everybody
for about
else.
10 seconds, yeah. And also is, I thought he was great.
No,
it's-
he is great. I just
Yeah.
realized that I didn't. I mean, we'll have to have him back on the podcast because I never asked him about the fact that he has a special move called the shin wheel. I
Ugh.
completely forgot to ask him about that during the interview, but that's fine.
Does feel like he's pushing the envelope of the rules because I mean, at a certain point, getting them down, there's so many ways to trip someone that are better than kicking them in the shin. Where I feel like if you just start sweeping the leg, I mean, we're gonna win, and you just wait and see if the shin. What is the stickler?
The stickler.
They
The
step
stickler.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, the stickler. Yeah, I mean, obviously. I will say that the Cotswold Olympic Games website is actually very good at sort of explaining the history of the games and of shin kicking in particular. They claim that the phrase "stickler for the rules" possibly comes from the game of shin kicking, which I can't go there with them. I don't
Yeah.
believe
Yeah,
them.
on that.
This feels like from when we were doing the British thought about the barrel kickers being like, this is where rugby came from. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. This feels like just a thing you guys say.
Well, and the
Yeah.
wife carrying as well. Remember where it's like it's in Finland as well, and they were like, no, it's not. We
Yeah.
only do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also just feels like it's probably better to think that because I feel like you dive into those sort of things and stickler, it's going to end up being like a rule of thumb situation where you're like, you know what? Yeah, let's say that it's the shin kicking
Yeah.
contest. We've looked into this
Actually,
and it's
it's actually
quite
something
dark.
so much worse. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I kind of look throughout the podcast. We have had a sort of skeptical to perhaps even disdainful view on these sorts of games. One thing we learned from talking to Mike is that he described it as a family event where alcohol is banned, which I thought was unbelievable for it to be banned in almost any British event, let alone an outdoor British event, let alone one in the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
You know, sort of hobbit country. It's like, you know, drunk hobbits getting into the mead kind of country, if you're trying to
Okay.
imagine parts of the UK.
Like
Is it the only
Midwest.
place in the UK where alcohol is not allowed?
Might be the only. Yeah. Because your children can drink.
Yeah,
As far as
yeah.
I understand. So
We had
it
a
has a Midwest energy where there's not a lot to do, so people are getting very drunk
yes.
to pass
So
the time.
I did ask him about that, and he said people do sneak alcohol in it. And I wanted to start talking to him about Property Festival, which is a festival that happens near where I grew up. Do you know the band Fairport Convention?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. It's a folk band in the UK. They've been around for like 50 years with a sort of rotating cast of people. I don't know if any of the original blokes are still in it because I think they would all have to be about 90 now. And every year they have a festival in Property, and the audience is like, I would say 2/3 dads who go there to sit and have a nice time sitting on lawn chairs and enjoying the music, and then 1/3 15-year-olds who have either snuck in or bought their way in, and then we just sit in the field drinking was the thing. And I had some of the worst alcohol of my life there, like just truly just like making, like when you go to a soda fountain and you pour everything into the
suicide.
A suicide, that's right, exactly.
Yeah,
we were making perhaps a much more legitimately named suicide with just all different types of alcohol poured in. So that's kind of what I'm imagining the Cotswold Olympic Games might be like, but on a much smaller scale, because the festival we would go to is like 5,000 people or whatever. As you could see from the video, this is like, 45 mums and dads standing around going, kick him!
I'm also like, this is really, I mean, I have a lot of these experiences as I'm like entering middle age, but I'm realizing now, like, as soon as you said sit in a lawn chair, I was in. I was like, oh, that sounds nice. I'm just sitting in a lawn chair sounds
in the
great.
summer,
Yeah. I'm also curious. I'm really getting a lot of knowledge. This is a very educational podcast for me.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what is the British bottom of the barrel like liquor that like the kids are stealing or getting someone to buy for them, or I guess they can just buy it. I don't know the rules.
Charlotte, I think this is a fantastic segue into talking about Chavs, isn't it?
It kind of is. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Before we do that, actually, we should just say, if you do want to send us a British thought, then shoot us an email. We're whatsallthispost@gmail.com. And then also, if you want to hear our full interview with Mike Newby, who by the way, I did Google Mike Newby just to make sure that I wasn't correcting you incorrectly, but it is Mike.
It's Mike.
That'll be on Thursday. That'll be on the Finest episode, so check that out.
Yeah, it's genuinely really good, and we're so glad to talk to him. And, also, if you are or know, like, the barrel kicking champion or whatever, if you have an interesting life and you think we might want to talk to you, but only if you actually do.
Yeah, but they don't know that. That's the problem.
That is the problem. You know what? Let's just cut that out. Let's just cut that out, because they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah. They all think, yeah.
All right, it's time for our main topic, which this week is Chavs, which we're not scared to talk about at all. Eli, why? What made you suggest doing Chavs?
Well, it's. I am with you on, like, I think I asked either over message or right before we started recording. I was like, "Are you allowed to say that?" Because I'm not sure, and it seems like the answer is you guys maybe aren't totally sure either, and it's maybe a murky topic. You confirmed it when you were like, it's 2004, because I just remember them having some sort of international moment where they were like, I think it was in the year, like the era of a lot of Urban Outfitters books being published, stuff like Coffee Table.
Yeah.
They're like, look at this fucking hipster era where, or there was some weird website, you guys might remember the name of it. There was a website or something dedicated to like the making fun of them and like what they were. And I remember being introduced to it and fascinated by it.
You wouldn't
and
perhaps
now that
be
I know
talking
what it
about
stands
chavscum.co.uk, would you?
It might be. I don't think I was on the co-UKs at that point. I don't think I was crossing the pond digitally. But
this is really interesting because like I was really curious because obviously me and Libby, we grew up with Chavs, right? The Chav era was like 2004-ish. And I'm saying that because that was the year that the Oxford Dictionary made it their word of the year. But what was like the perception of Chav culture from outside of the UK?
It was, I think that they were the, like hipster or whatever, kind of like, as we said, maybe shouldn't have been a punching bag, but then it was like, so it was a mixture of, classically just like pointing and laughing, which is something that Americans love. And then also kind of learning about a weird type of person that we didn't know about, that we didn't have. I'm going to try to see if I'm going to do the most cursory Google of just the phrase Chav website and see if I can find
website.
it.
Oh my God.
But it was around. And then, like you said, as soon as you explained what it stood for, I was like, oh no, I think I've made a huge mistake.
Wow.
Here.
Okay, well, we should talk about this because up until this week, have been living my life believing what I was taught sort of like in the peak Chav era, that it stood for council house and violent. And it was only this week that Libby was like, nope, you're dumb.
No, I didn't say that, and I never would.
Yeah, let me just check the messages.
I no,
By the
come
way,
on.
some of the results from me searching Chav website is an article from the BBC called "Why is Chav Still Controversial?" So we're on top of the issues.
Yeah,
here.
we really are. No, it's one of those. This just happens to be a pet peeve of mine, which is backronyms, which is when a word emerges and then people come up with an alleged acronym. Like one of them that pisses me off too is when people say POSH stands for Port Out Starboard Home, because people who were so rich that they would take cruise liners or whatever would be on the port side on the way out and starboard on the way home. It's complete nonsense, but people say it. There's something that people find really appealing about backronyms. And almost all the time that a word emerges, it is not from an acronym. Sometimes they are, but in this case, it seems to come from, yes, POG is another great example. Lewis just texted me to say POG.
Play of
Pog
the game
as in Twitch.
is the backronym for
the
that one,
irony
right?
is the irony
No,
is
that's a emote. They don't know what the hell they're talking
well
about.
so the irony is that people say that it's an acronym that means play of game, but what it actually is an acronym that means passion fruit orange guava, because it goes back to when someone was in a tournament of some kind sponsored by Pog Juice. So it is an acronym, but not of what people think it is. It's just a word that means someone going like that.
Doing the pog face.
Doing the pog face.
I
It's
thought
pogging.
I thought it was from the old global Twitch emote PogChamp.
Yes, it is, but that itself,
That guy was
Comes
in a
from that.
pog championship.
he was in a Pog championship for the
Yes.
juice,
Okay.
Pog. The Pog
And then
juice.
that guy got cancelled and they made it a lizard instead.
They made it a little
Oh, right.
instead. Yes.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I remember all this.
Yes. Yes. Anyway,
I'm going to stop my individual research because I don't want to be looking at another monitor while we're
Okay,
recording.
I just
but
wanted
will
to
add this.
bring up
Oh, go
the
ahead.
website that I wanted to show everybody.
I have not seen this.
You haven't seen this one. I
Okay.
wanted to be like, is this the website? But this
Maybe
is...
it is.
rap.
I did find,
Server move now
chavscum.co.uk.
complete. Server move now complete. The 5th
Yeah.
of July, 2005.
It will not
Oh,
surprise
we
you
love
to find out that the Chavscum website is no longer up, and this is an archive.org situation. Do you want to read the top line here next to this image
Me?
of a guy who's pointing two guns at us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll also say before as I end this trying to find this website, I ended up on and I'm not just like scouring another website while we're recording, but this is from a Reddit thread asking where it came from. And there's one comment that goes, Chav is an old term from the Romani language. And it's like, oh no, we are so deep in bad stuff. This is we're just sinking into things that I shouldn't talk about.
Yes. You're right. I should close that loop and say the etymology is either a Romani term that means child, or apparently there is a term chava in the northeast of England, which has long meant like a poor white person, essentially, which is essentially what it's essentially what fucking chav is. So yeah, that's probably what the origin is. Anyway, who is going to be brave enough to read this paragraph?
I have the most plausible deniability of it.
Go ahead.
So I think
Sure.
I can jump on it. All right. Chavs, Neds, Townies, Kevs, Charvers, Steeks, Spides, Bazas, Yarkos, Rat Boys. Rat Boys is great. Kappa Slappers, Skangers, Scutters, Janners, Stigs, Scallies, Hood Rats. Okay, Hood Rats. So the Hold Steady has covered this. Whatever you know them as this site is about them. Britain's peasant underclass. That are okay. Here we're in trouble. That are taking over our towns and cities. You don't want to ever be talking about a group of people taking over your towns and cities.
This
It's not
is-
a good place to start.
It's it is really a relic of 2005-ish internet, isn't it, Charlotte? Which is like, I don't know that there is. I'm not going to defend this in any way. I think it's ridiculous and gross and everything.
Yes.
But I think it's that kind of stuff was more not exactly ironic, but people were just wilding out on the internet in 2005 in a way where now if you made this website, you would be an active member of Stormfront or whatever.
Right.
And in 2005, you might have just been like an IT guy who's like, I think this is funny. And you also hold horrible opinions and stuff, but it wasn't like, your whole life to be politically repugnant.
It's also 2005 internet, so like the general, like in the spectrum of the internet, like they were bigger, worse things because they were like,
yeah.
oh, this website's kind of insensitive to the working class, and it's like, well, this website has beheading videos, so it's like we're like maybe focus on the big problems that we have at the moment before we get into like nomenclature where it's like maybe we shouldn't have snuff films that are labeled as a Cowboy Bebop episode. Like maybe we get on that.
When it was this or rotten.com. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do like the fact if I go to the donations page on chavscum.co.uk, it says Chavscum is owned and run by just 2 people, my wife and myself.
Not all.
That's nice.
My wife and myself.
Doesn't give a full name.
My wife confronting me about my huge donations to chavscum.com, ruining our economy.
God.
Yeah.
What a pair of twats.
Just calling himself the Chavscum webmaster.
Yes.
No more identifiable information there. I do want to go back to it.
Well, I think we should explain why anyone would have this website, which is that in 2004-5, around this time, I want to say maybe starting in 2003, the Oxford English Dictionary made it its word of the year in 2004, but it was definitely something that was in the zeitgeist. I believe I read that the term was first used on the internet in 1998, so it had been around, but it became a sort of media, what's the word? Like, not scapegoat, but
witch hunt?
The boogeyman kind of thing.
Yeah.
It became a sort of avatar of middle class hate of essentially what they said was a certain type of working class person. This was always the thing that pissed me off because I'll say this, I was kind of woke as a 12 or 13-year-old because my mum was woke, and as soon as I heard about chavs, what I heard was my mum saying it's just a way to demonize working class people, and I went, yes, mummy, it's a way to demonize working class people. But I remember it being annoying because it was defined as, because I would say something like that, and then other kids at school would be like, yeah, but chavs are aggressive, chavs are wankers, that kind of stuff. But when you define a group of people by saying, here, you can't possibly say chavs are good because they are people with these negative characteristics. It's like, oh, how could you defend chavs? Chavs are people who swear at you on the street or, graffiti or whatever. And it's like, okay, but you need to think a little bit about maybe, are you always talking about people who are, criminals, doing antisocial things? Or maybe is it just used to describe someone who's walking down the street with a baby in a pushchair and they're wearing a tracksuit?
Right. And
which is allowed.
Yes.
Which is allowed.
It is
even
allowed.
In Britain. Yeah.
And if the baby's in a tracksuit, I'd say it's almost applauded by me.
Yeah, because that's
like
cute.
A tracksuit.
It is cute when they have a little one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel like I experience a lot of my understanding of this group of people unfortunately through like Little Britain.
Yeah.
Which is like, I have to imagine that people outside of the group that is a lot of their experience with it as well is, what's the name of the character again? Vicky Pollard.
Let me also say Little Britain, one of those shows that like when British people are like, now this is what we think is funny, don't send that to Americans. It's so unintelligible to us. They're like, now this is good stuff. We're like, what is this?
Here's what I'll say. For all of this sort of pseudo defense we do of certain parts of British culture, if you meet a British person who says Little Britain was wicked, shut the door immediately, turn around, walk away as fast as you can, close the direct message with them, do not engage. Little Britain is poison. It's disgusting. It's bad. It's not funny. It's racist. The guys who are in it are both complete twats.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I wasn't going to watch it, but I'll continue.
And I'm mad at you for even bringing it up.
Check it. Don't get me wrong. It's still worth checking out. Yeah. No, I mean, I attribute Little Britain to pushing back my transition by 10 years because of the way of the I'm a lady character. Sort of like that was how I was learning about gender nonconformity was through the lens of let's all laugh at this person. Really, really bad stuff. It's maybe
through a lot of doorways, or is that Scooby-Doo also? Is that Little Britain and Scooby-Doo? I feel like I'm combining, and Benny Hill is coming into this at some point. I'm combining a lot of,
I'm happy to blame Benny Hill too, just to be clear.
All right, take him down.
As I'm just trying to like talk about this at all, I'm realizing Little Britain is one of those things that we probably should do an episode about, and I never want to.
No,
I think it would just depress me way too much, and I would just get too mad about it. Yeah.
Here's what I think we should do. is we should save Little Britain for an episode where what we really want to do is do a very long British Thought of the Week and a very long game with a guest that we have had on before. And then our main topic is 1 minute long. And we say, Little Britain was shit, wasn't it? That's Iceland here. All right. See you later.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
That sounds
Done
perfect.
and dusted. I think I'm also, this is almost a defensive, like, because I think that for once it coming over, my interface with the term was that, like, and I think a lot of that had been like sanded off because we didn't understand the like socioeconomics of Britain. It was like very outfit based, what I was looking at.
Yeah.
It was very, but I think it's also, I mean, it's a thing where it's like it's like redneck, where like, is there a conversation to be had about redneck? For sure, but no one really wants to have it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's like, just like, yeah, it's probably not good, but I don't know what to do about it.
Yes.
But yeah, for me, it was very much the outfits and the look associated with it.
Yes, for sure. And I think that is like the maybe one of the main reasons it took off so much in the media was that there is this like very identifiable like style associated with it, which again gave it this sort of sheen of like, well, this is sort of like, cultural, almost fashion criticism in a way that just masked a lot of actually very disgusting stuff. I
will say I did have to put in the big hoops today. For
I
the
love
Chav
the big
episode.
hoops.
I was like,
look beautiful.
I mean, I love the big hoops, and I was picking out the earrings, and I was like, we've got to, as an homage to the Chavs, let's do the
Okay.
big ones.
But you did just sort of slightly say big hoops.
Big hoops. I want to put in my big hoops so I look like a chav.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I think I'll just put in the big hoops today for our Chavs episode. It'll be ever so funny.
They'll love it.
They'll love it. They'll absolutely love it. Yeah. I mean, this is tough for us because obviously a running thing on the show is Charlotte and I being a little bit embarrassed about being slightly, but not really posh. A little bit middle class.
Okay.
We're definitely middle class. And middle class in the UK is an insult, just to be clear. Middle class means posh.
Okay. And posh is, you said you don't, the etymology is not, it's not a backronym.
No.
It's not an acronym.
No.
I always really thought it was just a very perfect kind of almost onomatopoeia, even though it's not
I was just going to say.
I agree.
It is the sound of
Of a posh
that's
person.
like
Posh.
it sounds like when you have an impression of someone, but it's not words. You're just like oh, lo, 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 lo. Like it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like posh, 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 and it just
Yep.
feels like you're like that's I know who you're talking about.
The great
So,
word that goes with it to me, and it's sort of the mirror of chav, is toff. A toff being a posh person, you immediately understand what a toff is like. I'm thinking of Hugh Laurie in Jeeves and Wooster. He's a toff, and it's just immediately perfect. You're absolutely right. But anyway, that being said, I think you're right that the main thing people think about is tracky bottoms, track suits, big hoops. Burberry obviously is a big part of it. The Burberry print.
Burberry check, yeah.
but probably fake Burberry, right?
I mean,
I would
almost
imagine.
certainly. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
fucking expensive. And very tight ponytails for the girls, baseball caps for the boys. And then this sort of stereotype, once you get below the fashion thing, there's this stereotype of sort of like aggressiveness, kids hanging out on street corners. Eli, have you seen Peep Show?
I haven't, and that's a crime. I know.
It's really, really good. That is, I'll recommend that unreservedly. But there's a great.
That also is a hot button. I feel like that's the idea of like quote unquote unsupervised children. There's code in there. There's 100% code in there of unsupervised children.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is funny because now there's so much sort of like, kind of right-wing-ish backlash to the idea of, our kids are too coddled. And I remember when you were, the same people who talk about having drunk from the hose as a child will talk about like, oh, we used to just go out and then we would just come home when the sun went down and all that kind of stuff, like helicopter parenting, kind of criticism of helicopter parenting or whatever.
Yeah. Or the playgrounds thing where they're like, oh, playgrounds are so safe now. And I was like, yeah, I guess. But also we did get hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I knew like someone's arm was broken always. At school.
The type of adult whose main thing is, I want kids to be in just a little bit more danger all the time. That would be great for me, is if they could get just a bit more hurt. Very strange.
It meshes nicely with vaccine beliefs. They're like, no,
totally. Yeah. A bit more risk actually would be good. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought.
That's okay. Well, we can do this instead.
Oh my god,
I
this
did
is
go
so
to-
2005.
I found the Name Your Chav Baby page on the Chavscum website. Eli, would you like to have a little girl or a little boy?
Why not both? Why not one of each? Why not
let's
round it
find
out?
out.
Let's see all the variations.
Start with a little girl. See what comes up. All right, you won't be able to see this. I got a pop up.
Pop up? Oh man, we're in 2005.
We're in 2005.
Yeah, it says your new little girl's name is Shakira Sapphire Yudin. Okay.
That doesn't even feel like chav stuff. That just feels
Racist. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that just feels.
it does. Yeah.
And then a little boy.
Now you've
please.
capitalized both my names for extra emphasis. To really get one.
The website did that.
The
and then we
website is
have-
so old that you have to shout into it because otherwise you can't hear you.
Yeah.
Your little boy's name is Jordan Gary Yudin. So there you
wrong
go.
with being
that's
called
just two
Gary?
names. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It says
It could be. Is that as similar to the the old two first name thing, Billy Joe, like that sort of?
yeah.
possibly.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
says the golden rule Chavs use when naming their sprog is it has to sound expensive and classy. So I guess
two other
that's
chavs, they say.
Mhm.
Only two other chavs.
to
because, of
other
course,
chavs. Yes,
if you're
no,
middle
that's
class,
right.
yes. If you're middle class and you name your daughter Cressida, that's good because that's signaling proper middle classness. Whereas if you are poor and you call your daughter I said call your daughter Shart. That's not what I meant to say.
Regardless of your socioeconomic background, please don't call your daughter Shart. Thank you very much.
My beautiful baby. These are my. Well, we had a long discussion on our podcast once of the worst name for children, and we had the male one was Venus, and so it could be these are my two children, Shart and Venus.
Shart and Venus.
I need to work really hard not to get hysterical. I was going to say Chardonnay. That's a classic chav girl name, and
Really?
it's that thing of, again, middle class people like to make up what they think are distasteful names for children. And in this case, how could it be more distasteful? Oh, Porsche, Mercedes, or other ones. It's like naming
Right.
your kids after expensive stuff as a way of like pretending because this is the thing people really hate about chavs, and especially the Daily Mail. I did a little bit of searching of the Daily Mail.
They hate a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Almost everyone, it turns out.
They're fine with me though, right? I haven't checked it in a while.
Yeah, no, I think they're all good with you. And one of the things that the Daily Mail at least seems to hate the most about chavs, and they still do use the term chav even now in 2026.
That is crazy.
Not often, but they do occasionally. For example, this page we have Britain's chaviest house sells for £180,000. Buyer found for 3-bed semi. We would say semi-detached, boasting giant glitterball style vase and rose gold toilet seat. I do love this. Do you know who bought the house? Email tips@dailymail.com.
Yeah, effectively doxing somebody.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
like who owns this?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
so if you look at the inside of the house
Oh my
here,
God.
it's extremely poor taste. I would not want to live here.
Yes.
But what it is, I think, that the Daily Mail hates about it is that it is a style that is meant to imply luxury while being cheap. And that's the worst thing you can do, is pretend to be of a higher class than you are.
Right.
It's beyond that. From looking at this, I mean, if you're watching the video, you'll understand. If not, I mean, it's like very, very pink and frilly. This feels like something you would wake up in like a nightgown and like shackled to the bed in. It's like there's something greater.
Yeah.
There's some greater thing going on here. That's not just about luxury.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about unresolved trauma somewhere in like a very specific point in
Wow.
someone's
I
life.
don't think I've ever seen a bigger. It doesn't say live, but it does say laugh, love.
I have
on
to
the
imagine
wall.
that Liv is
Very
just off
dark.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
decided not to. That's why the house is on the market.
That's right.
And
I don't think
And a
this is
big
really
watch on the
chavvy,
wall.
honestly.
No, I agree. They're really just saying this is bad taste, and exactly what you're saying, Libby. They're trying to seem like it's more luxurious than it is. So let's bring that word back, just to sort of like shit on people a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Another
there's
headline
also,
here.
not to pile on to
sorry.
the decorator of this house, there's like a fascinating item in this picture, which is what looks like, I'm going to assume, a picture of a deceased relative, like a beloved deceased relative, but in a like bedazzled frame, which is just a weird mix for me to kind of be like, my sweet Nan.
She
and then
sparkled
put
in
her-
life and now does in this
Yeah.
picture frame as well.
Yeah, and these pink costume diamonds will, like you're going to put them on her eyes when she goes to the afterwards. You can trade them.
But we all grieve differently.
Yeah, she can trade this frame for passage across the river Styx. That's how this works. Yeah, this is also just, I mean, a horrible house to live in just in terms of moving around. Like, even just it's got a lot of...
It's too much. There's too much going on. Another headline here from the Daily Mail. I used to be a chav. Now I have expensive tastes. Shopaholic 30 lavishes £36,000 a year on luxury items, including £450 lip fillers, £300 hair extensions, and £35 fake tan. I'm sorry, none of that seems particularly expensive.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially the fake tan and the hair extensions. I'm like, that's a pretty normal price for that sort of stuff, right?
I mean, this is 2016, but even so, £35 is not crazy to me. What is she supposed to do? Get some like £2 shit from Superdrug or something? Because then you'd call her a chav, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. She's
to-
spending the money to get the high quality stuff, and you're like, still going after her.
I'm starting to wonder if, like, every now and then the Daily Mail posts just like a nothing story with the word chav in it, just to see if it like will get clicks at this point in history, just as a test, because this is truly just a woman exists.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you, Daily Mail or not, and like offensiveness of content or not, that is how internet
absolutely.
I've worked at multiple sites, and it's if a word starts getting clicks, you are slamming that word into every headline regardless.
Yes.
Which is how I think chav caught on in the media. It was like, they realized it was, I remember seeing it in like, headlines of newspapers on the front page, the big fucking tabloid headlines and stuff. It was like Chav Britain and all that stuff. Another good one here. University cheerleading team cancels chav-themed night out after right-on students moaned they were appropriating working class culture. Now, this is a really good sort of key to understanding Britain here, because for a start, the phrase right-on students, I don't think an American would understand what was denoted by that at all, right?
It would be the opposite, which I would believe they're not, which is, it seems like the Daily Mail is saying, like, very rightly and 100% correctly, they did this. And I'm like, that's not their vibe. That's not their general mission.
Right. I believe right on is a very old-fashioned British term for, like, annoyingly too correct about stuff students. Students who do stuff like point out inequality, thus... you can just dismiss all of their correct things by saying, oh, right on, kind of like woke, basically.
Yeah, it's like woke adjacent.
Anyway, so the Daily Mail still
it's still bad. I mean, I was like, in terms of just the way that people are interacting with the idea of chavs now, I did see that like it was a thing on TikTok for a while. Did you guys see that the like I'm going to do, people
Chav
were referring
makeup.
to it both as chav makeup and as British makeup. And this is like a challenge that I'm going to do, is just sort of make myself look like this. Yeah.
Which, look, I'll say that there are parallels with, there are Americans who wear, I'm thinking of Jersey Shore, like Snooki or whatever. Sure. She looked like a chav, like she looked like the stereotype of a chav, like a lot of like fake tan and the hair and the nails and blah, blah, blah. Like all of that stuff exists in America, in subcultures or whatever.
And there was a word, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
and I hope
what is it?
For the Jersey Shore like thing.
Someone will write
But
in and tell us.
It wasn't bro, but it was very specific. Yeah.
Bitch, I think. It was just we hate women. Horrible women trying to look nice. I don't know. It's I started reading a really interesting journal article about the idea of chav as sort of the a specific way to denigrate, like, I need to find the term. It was like, the filthy whites, in a way of saying these are like the wrong whites. These are white people who are like doing whiteness wrong. We
have white trash, which is also a very like hot button term. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it is interesting to think about like what that means, because I do feel like chav generally did denote white people, even though Britain is extremely multicultural.
Yeah,
I would say it was mostly talking about like, the reason I mentioned Peep Show, by the way, I want to go back to this. The first episode of Peep Show has a really funny through line in it where Mark is getting yelled at by a group of like 11-year-old kids who say, "Can you buy me a Coke? Can you buy me a Coke?" And they're kind of following him around. When he says, "No, sorry," they say, "Oh, you fucking clean shirt."
Yeah.
Oh, we got to
calling
bring
him
that back.
I know,
That's
I
good.
know. And then they start calling him a pedo and everything. It's so funny. Reminded me.
I will say, maybe not now, but you guys have been throwing around pedos and insult crazy style for a long time.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
just
we invented it. And
Yeah. Pedo, right? Isn't there? You got the.
we spell it with
mix-
the A. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or the combination unique character.
Yeah,
especially
the Greek
designed
letter
for
or
that
whatever.
word, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
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 Which is, he's a classically posh person, right? It's David Mitchell,
David
right?
Mitchell, yeah. He's
yeah.
posh.
Very
he's
funny.
He's great.
Incredible.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's great, but he's very funny in Peep Show and other stuff.
Mhm.
He what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, my chav story.
Okay.
Because
Mhm.
I
Libby's
too,
chav tales.
I went to a comprehensive in the UK, which is what we call public school, what Americans call public school. What public school is in the UK is something different. And I definitely remember being like aware of, other kids. It wasn't like I was sitting there wokely being like, well, I won't have any sort of class thoughts about them. Yeah, there were chavs at school for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then when I was like, I want to say like 17, maybe 18, I was walking from sixth form, Banbury sixth form, which was an even worse school than where I went and did my GCSEs. Really, really bad school. I was walking to Sainsbury's and these little chav kids walked up to me and said, "Oh, can you buy me a packet of," they use the word that Americans wouldn't use, but the British people would use for cigarettes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You buy me
Oh, I thought you could say crisps, but
You're
was
not
like, why
actually
doesn't
allowed
you
to say
wanna
that.
say crisps?
Sorry, only I can say
Like-
crisps. Sorry, please.
Yeah.
Pat, can you cut out Eli saying crisps? Sorry, guys.
I was like, you're being very protective of me. Yeah.
Yeah, so they said, "Can you buy me a packet of crisps?" And I said, "No, sorry," because I didn't want to buy some children's cigarettes. And they said,
Yeah.
"Oh, you fucking grebo, fuck off!" And a grebo, of course, we all know is what was a
From
grebo?
Star Wars.
It was it was something
he's-
like
Shot Han Solo.
it was it's somewhere between like emo and goth, right? It was like Avril
Okay.
Lavigne type.
Right. Which is that's
yeah.
the category I wanted to fit myself into. There was a brief period where I
I
was
was a
like,
big time grebo, yeah.
yeah, I did briefly sort of think, man, I mean, I do think maybe chavs are a little bit cool. I think probably because of just like, you're the bad kids and kind of wanting to be the bad kid when I was younger
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to drink as well. We didn't actually touch on that. I feel like in terms of the liquor, I mean,
Oh, yeah, the
I
gas
mostly am just
station.
thinking about cider as like the cheap alcohol that you
White
have.
Lightning.
White Lightning, right.
White Lightning was the drink.
Because you don't have, well, I mean, there's probably a bunch of terms that we're not like, because the one I always think of it, that's you're not allowed to drink it. Someone snuck that, like you got someone to buy something for you, but it was the worst. It's just pure like alcohol by content was always, it's not really called Mad Dog 2020, but that's what everybody calls it.
Yeah.
And like Nitrane, like I always knew it as, I don't think you're supposed to, like hobo wine, but
Yeah.
just like pure kind of fortified wine, I think is
Right.
the actual
Mhm.
term.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
In the UK, I don't think they sell it anymore, but it was this big 2-liter plastic bottle, like a 2-liter plastic soda bottle, but of cheap cider. I don't know if it was even particularly high alcohol content, but you could get it for literally like £1, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It
Mhm.
smelled
So
like piss.
really, it was so horrible. I had it one time, and it was at the after prom party that we had.
Yeah, that's when you drink it.
in year
100%.
11. Yeah, exactly. It's the only time I've stayed up all night in my entire life. And I was 15. Britain is just a little bit fucked up, isn't it?
The biggest sort of like point in my posh column is the one time I did stay up all night getting really, really drunk was I was drinking Pimm's and champagne.
A Pimm's cup? Parents get home, flip on the light, and you're sipping like a French 75 in the dark. What are you doing?
Getting
yeah.
the port out.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it did end up with me sleeping in the back of a car because I was supposed to bring a tent to this wedding and then didn't, and then I experienced my first hangover, and then I was like, I'm never
yeah.
going to drink again. It was not good. I do want to tell my chav story real quick,
Yes,
which
let's
is that
hear it.
I played one in a short film. That's the thing I wanted to bring up when I was
Get ahead of.
I was like, I think maybe like 14 at the time, just trying to get into acting.
Yeah.
If you do want to see little bits of said short film, that's also going to be on this week's finest episode. We're guys, we put a lot of effort into this week's finest episode.
It was really fucking good.
It was a good one.
Yeah, it was really good.
So yeah, that's and trying to sort of being definitely middle class, trying to embody the chav. I mean, you guys can be the judges of how well I ended up doing in that. Trying to think if there's anything else. I do have happy slapping written down in my notes.
Oh my god, I forgot about happy slapping. That is our knockout game.
Right.
Is that Space Cadet adjacent? You slap until you kind of feel drunk?
No. God, I didn't know
Okay.
you called that Space Cadet. That's awesome. No,
That's even worse. I don't think I was Space Cadet was after me, and I don't know how much of just like a boogeyman it was.
Yeah.
It was, but I think at least one person said they had done it. It was, you would like go into the woods and choke each other.
Yeah, we had that.
And then, yeah. But that was called Space Cadet. As far as I remember.
Why?
Because
Because you
choking
could.
someone until they reach the edge of unconsciousness.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Like what would happen if you were in space, but you didn't
Yeah.
have your helmet on? Okay.
Just like natural DMT adjacent, where
Yeah.
you're like trying to hit that chemical that floods the brain when you die by choking
right.
each other in the woods.
Yeah,
So-
no, we
Gotcha.
had the choking game too. I was too scared to do it, and I was right.
You should, yeah, everyone should be
Yeah.
cutting off blood flow to the brain.
Yeah.
Advisable.
Doesn't sound great.
Yeah, children die.
mhm.
Yeah.
Happy slapping is one person in it is not a willing participant. It is we're going to film someone and slap them in the face,
Yeah.
and that's
Okay.
happy slapping, and that was
That was,
definitely
like-
yeah.
Sorry.
It was associated with chav culture as well, for sure.
Yes, and it was right at the start of video cameras being available on mobile phones. Being able to film things on your flip phone was enormous. And I think that was when happy slapping was A, invented, and B, immediately demonized and or not demonized, but like made up into a bigger thing than it was in the media.
Right,
It was like,
right.
I'm sure there
Yeah.
were a million Daily Mail headlines of 17-year-old happy slapped outside Tesco or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of the horrible children's games that include one unwilling participant. Of memories of. I always remember table topping was the big one when I was in like elementary school or whatever. And table topping was, when you break it down, just so deeply emotionally and physically hurtful. Because are you familiar with table topping?
No.
So table topping is you would distract someone, usually the kind of kid that you would think people are doing this to, while someone snuck up behind them and got on all fours behind them, and then the person talking to them would shove them hard so they'd trip and fall
Right.
over the person who was like behind them. And so when you broke it down, it was like, okay, so you start a conversation with someone who is probably truly desperately wanting to talk to somebody, and then you instead shove them. And did I get tabletopped? Yes.
No.
So I can say it didn't. It wasn't great. Look, that was, to give you an idea of where I was at that point, I was like, obviously playing a lot of Magic the Gathering and things like that, but like,
They're pretty cool.
I think this will sum it up. Like, wanted to be a punk but was too afraid to be a punk, so was only a
Yes.
punk once for Halloween. It's like, this is what it would feel like.
I think I did pretty much exactly the same thing with being an
Yeah.
emo. Honestly,
yeah.
I just did it once for like a party, and I was like,
Yeah.
I felt like I was just pretending.
Look, I'll tell the story while we're telling embarrassing stories. The first time I ever tasted alcohol, it was me and this girl in my village who was older and cool and had just moved to the village, and she was a witch. She was into Wicca, and all we knew really about her was that she was older and she was a witch, and she had like a fucked up home life. And there was like a tree that was at the bottom of the garden of like one of the manor houses, the lay manor. And I know.
No,
I
it's just that
still
you
think
said
Libby's made up the
village.
story.
I'm
No,
not-
you said village, and I had to be like, no, they just say village for like towns. But then
They
everything you've said has been so medieval after that.
No,
where
it
you're
literally
like,
is.
Yep.
There was a witch there, and there was an ominous tree. And so it's like every time you say village, I'm imagining the village, as in there are people in rat suits
Right.
like that come out at night. And
So,
It was-
yeah.
it was
Libby, this
basic-
is the dream that you had, not Eli playing Sekiro. This
And then
is
I
your
was playing
dream.
Sekiro, and I turned around, and when when we made eye contact, you woke up and you were falling, and yeah.
I grew up in that village that you get to in Elden Ring where everyone is like doing this and they've got the frenzy pouring out of their eyes.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's where I grew
So
up.
you grew up in the windmill village.
Yes,
with
that's
the
right. I was one of the
godskin-
windmill ladies.
yeah, one of the celebrants.
Yes, exactly. No, and so she snuck out of her parents' liquor cabinet some port, and brought it under the tree, and it was me and my best friend, and then this, and then this girl, and I was so scared to even try a sip, but I did because of peer pressure, and I sipped it, and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna die now, I'm gonna die, because I had like a sip of port.
Shouldn't have drank the witch's brew, you know?
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
it obviously cursed me for the rest of my life, and that's why I'm so fucked up now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the like liquor that won't be missed is though, you know, people. There are a lot of people with bad experience with like peach schnapps,
Yeah.
like creme de menthe.
Sambuca.
That's just something.
Mm-hmm.
They go, oh, sambuca is brutal.
Yeah.
That's just.
We did that once at a sleepover. We nicked my stepdad's sambuca and we had that and some cheese. We thought it was funny to have it with cheese for some reason. It was so disgusting.
Your kid coming home just absolutely shit-faced, reeking of fennel. Why? Did you steal the sambuca? It's an aperitif. It's not really.
Not really meant to
digestif?
drink it.
More of a decorative
Libby, we
bottle.
should rank Chavs
Yes,
so that we
please,
can
let's.
play a little game.
Oh,
So we need to, unfortunately, we do need to, as we do with every main topic on the podcast, rank the topic of Chavs on our British supermarket themed tier list, with S being Waitrose tier, A is Marks and Spencer, B is Sainsbury's, C is Tesco, D is Morrison's, E is Asda, and F is Iceland. I personally, Libby, I can't think of anything redeeming about this one at all.
Right.
But where do you think you want to put this? Where you put in Chavs?
What I'm thinking about is how do I rank it in such a way where it's clear that I'm not ranking the people that were called Chavs.
Right.
Like, I don't want to
Yes.
say, like, hey, if you were 12 and lived on a council estate and had tracksuit bottoms, you're disgusting to me. I'm putting you in Iceland. Obviously, that's not what I'm doing. I'm going to rank.
You're ranking the social moment that we're discussing.
That's exactly
this
right.
2004.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is what this episode is about, everybody.
I'm ranking the chav craze, you know?
Mhm.
The Daily Mail's idea of a chav or whatever. That's obviously Iceland. No redeeming qualities. Comes from a terrible and especially British place of class snobbery. Shite. And Little Britain sucked too. So it's Iceland.
Yeah, no, it's got to be Iceland for me as well, for all of the same reasons. It's been sort of like I don't know, grounding to revisit the topic that I really had not thought about like since the early 2000s, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
Just
it was
happy to help.
yeah. I just
We had to do it.
Yeah.
how much did you think we were just going to have a fun little time when you suggested Chavs, Eli?
Probably. Yeah, I think I had an inkling, but also I want to make it clear I had other options. So
Yeah.
it wasn't just like this.
No,
was
I
also,
think-
but I think the other ones were things you covered, like darts and Gregs
haven't-
and things
yeah.
like
We
that.
haven't covered those things. We know even less about darts and snooker than we do.
Okay.
I
we
think
do
Chavs was just one of those things we knew we were going to have to cover at some point. And so we've done it. But
It's a milestone
Eli,
episode, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad to be the bitter medicine for your podcast.
thank you.
Like the castor oil episode of. Do I also have to rank this?
I mean,
Yes,
yes,
you know what I
yes,
mean.
you do.
Sorry.
But I
Yeah.
think we've
Do you have a
established what you
bad
need to do
grocery
here.
store just named Iceland?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a place that mostly sells frozen food for mums because mums love Iceland.
Oh, okay. And is that part of the fun? Is that it's all frozen and it's Iceland?
That's
That's
I would
literally
argue
it, yeah.
the entirety of the fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. That is, How do I want to interface with this? That's the question.
Best of luck, Eli.
Yeah, I feel like now that I know, I would say Iceland because I've been educated properly. I just thought it was funny hats. I thought it was flat caps, and at
to
that
help.
point, but I was not examining things on a deeper level at the time.
Yes.
I was just looking for some websites to fill while the next snuff film was uploading to Rotten. I was like, what can I look at in the interim here? Yeah.
Quite
so
right.
I'll say Iceland as well.
Okay.
And be correct on that and be proud.
Well done.
Hey, we're all correct.
Thank you.
And we've all said the right things, and no one's going to be mad at us. Let's play Charlotte's little game. I'm calling this one better British backronyms. All right. So what I've done is I've taken some British words and I've come up with backronyms to describe those things. All right. And so what I'm going to ask you guys to do is I'm going to give you the word, and I want to see if you can, for starters, guess what you thought my backronym would be.
Yep.
This is an insane game, and I'm sorry about it.
It's brilliant.
But also, if
Any
you
game described as a little game is insane. I think you're in for something.
This is something I have done something here for sure. Also, if you can just come up with a better one than me, then you'll also get some points. We'll see how this goes.
Great.
But my first one is pong. All right, pong is
right.
as in a bad smell. A British word for a bad smell.
Oh. Well, I had a good one, but about the every other use of this word I've ever heard. I've never heard it as a bad smell.
Yeah, a bit
That's the name
pongy.
of the classic
Ooh, it's a bit
back
pongy,
and forth
isn't it?
game.
Yes.
Nice pongy cheese. I'm gonna go particularly odorous, nasty gunk.
Ooh, okay, that's very good, Libby. Eli, you got any ideas here?
This is, I doubt, I mean, real mind meld moment if it is, but where I jumped to was putrid odor, no good.
That's so good.
I'm gonna give you a point for that because it is just funny. But let's. I do have the clue here, right? Which is the we've got P-O and then the N means nose. G. Does that give you any more clues? Honestly, I think maybe O is odorous. I kind of want to, shout out Libby for that.
Okay.
Any more guesses here?
Particularly odorous nose
Guy.
ganker. Yeah, I don't know. Nose guy.
I went with
ganker's very close.
Yeah,
audibly.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. I went with properly odorous nose gagger.
Really
that's,
good.
Okay.
That's Pong. All right, Shag. Shag is next.
Ooh.
I know this one.
Okay. Shag. Sex having.
That's
Always
how- yeah.
good.
I like that, Libby. I like that a
Thanks.
lot.
Thank you.
Sex having always good. Now, I will say the thing about a shag is it doesn't necessarily denote it's sort of good sex necessarily,
Yeah.
right?
Could be bad sex.
It could be bad sex, and I did sort of lean into that for mine. I'm gonna give you the clue right ahead with the first word. The S is sex.
Okay.
You didn't hear my backronym here, but it's this is, I think it's very, good, and it establishes good boundaries, which is sex having, adults getting after it. I know that you're not allowed to do that, but going at it also available.
I'm not going to top that. No.
That is really good. I'm gonna give you a point for it, but the correct answer to this is sex had after Greg's.
Okay. And
Eli,
that's
do you know Greg's?
Greg's is a roll-based restaurant, right?
Yeah,
That's what I
pastry and
understand.
roll.
Sausage
Yeah.
Pastries
roll?
and rolls, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the best I could come up with. You're both doing great. I guess as part of this game, I had a really hard time coming up with any of these, and it took me way longer. Next
I
up,
love
we
any
have
game where I'm told that I'm funny and doing great. I like this game a lot. This is,
Well done, Eli.
yeah.
Next up, we have nappy.
Oh, okay, this is tough. So a nappy is a diaper.
Nappy is diaper.
Oh.
That's right.
Okay.
I have one. I doubt it's the one you came up
Hey,
with.
go
which would,
for
of
it.
course-
Again, if it's funny, you get a
Yeah,
point.
well, we'll see. Would be nasty ass poo poo yucky. Possible?
That's so close to what I had.
Really?
What did you have,
had-
Libby?
I had nasty ass, poo pants, yuck.
Okay, well, honestly, you're both really in the ballpark here, and I will reveal that the PP
We got
in
poo-poo.
nappy is poo-poo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind
It
of.
could be poo/pee. Both end up in the nappy.
It's true. Yeah. I also am pretty proud of having poo pants because, of course, British people pants is underwear.
That's right. I do. Honestly, I'm giving you a point, Libby, right now.
Yes.
But do you want to have a final guess and see if you can get it exact?
No.
I have. Honestly, mine is worse.
Okay, let's see it.
Okay.
Not another poo. Yuck.
No, that's good. That's really good.
That is the reaction
Not
when you
another
smell the
poo-poo.
nappy.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, we got minge next.
Is this as bad as I think it is?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay, it's a bad word. All right.
Well, it's a bad. I mean, look, sorry, I shouldn't say it's a bad word because, of course, a woman's yoni is beautiful. It's her pussy.
It's vagina.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
that's
pussy.
right.
But the use of this word is not in that context.
That's
Usually,
all
not
right.
complimentary.
It's not like cunt. You know you.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not like super aggressive. I guess it is gross just because look at it, minge. It's nasty.
It's
Yeah.
it's in sort of the shag snog camp, I think,
Okay.
where it's like it's definitely not like neutral, you know?
Okay, I was reading it as like the gross guys who are like divorced guys who are calling it like strange and stuff. You know? They're
Oh,
like, yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
No, it's not
Not that
quite
level.
that. Yeah.
right.
Anyway, any guesses here?
I'm really close. I'm writing one down. I just need E.
I actually I need to use I need notes for this one. Someone vamp while I complete this.
Okay.
Charlotte Vamp.
Well, I will. I mean, listen, don't let this change your answers, right? Because I want to know what your natural one was. But I will tell you that for me, I ended up the G in minge stands for gendered.
I wonder if it's not gendered anymore, but it's with an E.
Anymore.
Anymore. Okay, I've got one. It's mother's inner natal gap. Electric.
I mean, I really did want to put mother in there personally. Man, that's good. That is good, Libby. That is good. Eli, any ideas?
Well, I was having trouble with one letter, so I've figured out a workaround. And
Okay.
I think this is actually very nice of me and all that.
Respectful.
So here's what I have. The backronym for minge here is motherhood initiator, nurturing, giving -life. And then I couldn't figure out an E, so I just signed it Eli. That's my entry.
Oh God, that is good. No, I'm the trans person. I had to figure out a way to see if I could make minge non-gendered. So it's the marital ingress non-gendered example.
Okay.
That's minge.
Yeah. Strictly
Really good.
marital, though. So
Yeah,
there's-
I mean, that is it is still problematic. If anyone has an idea for the non-problematic version, yeah. Unfortunately, in my version, you do have to get married to use it. But anyone can have one. All right, Telly is next.
Oh, telly.
So we have telly here. It's just a British TV. This is feeling like the most like pub game of all of our
Yeah.
games so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
Not really me
I'm full
considering the fact
trivia.
that you would have to write down notes for this, but it does make sense.
To me,
Depending on
writing
how
is no big
sensitive
deal.
my microphone is, you may have heard me uncap a marker. So I feel like we're really going in. Okay.
Libby, do you have one already, just off the top of your head?
Y is a really difficult letter to.
Y
think of
is
words
hard,
for.
yeah.
The okay, I've got the electric learning. Lovely. Yes.
The electric learning, lovely, yes.
Yes.
Oh, good to sit in front of the electric learning, lovely, yes.
Yes, you learn from the telly. Or at least you
do.
do if you're me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We're sort of the new telly now, I'm finding out.
We
People
might
are
be on the
learning a
telly
lot.
right now in someone's living room
Podcast
watching
that
on
would
new
be
YouTube.
telly.
Eli?
Now, I don't think this is great,
That's fine.
but it is fun to say, and that's what I look for here. And my backronym for telly is television, elevision, look, yes.
I'm giving you a point for that. I love television, look, less. I love it.
I almost just did television, elevision, livision, but then livision is not as fun to say.
Livision,
Doesn't
yeah.
have
No,
that
I'm just going to
poetry
reveal
it.
mine. That the E in telly was electronic. I went
Okay.
with a talking electronic light, lot of yanks.
There are so many yanks.
Because there's so many yanks in our telly, you know?
Too many yanks.
I got too
Yeah.
many yanks in my telly.
Okay.
All right, this is going to be the hardest one. This is longest. We've got wanker here, which
Okay.
is 6 words. All right. This is expert level stuff.
Okay, hang on.
That's okay.
Yeah, you need like thinking music.
Do
Tron,
do
Jeopardy.
do. Actually, sorry, that's American.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Boom. Oh man.
Okay, I've got one.
Go ahead, Libby.
Wobbling a nubby knob every Wednesday. That's Wednesday if you're a dog.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
All dogs are Scooby-Doo.
Eli, are you close?
Yes, I have it. It's visceral. I apologize.
That's fine.
It's kind of. I have wanker stands for wiggling around nasty kid expeller rod.
Sort of the sort of the other side of the marital ingress, if you like. Yeah.
That's really good.
Something that would be in like a summary given to a king alien after visiting at a very unfortunate time. It's one specific human. All right, knob.
Yeah, I
K
have
was a tough one.
Knob is K, but honestly, I think it's fun just to have you do it blind. Honestly, so what I went with was when alone, needle knob experience release.
Needle knob?
Needle knob.
Needle knob. Yeah.
No, you don't. I don't think you should needle it.
Yeah, that's like what Albert Fish did, and he was a bad guy. So,
All right, we've got one more, which is chav.
Oh, no.
And
Okay.
importantly, this one is not describing the group that we talked about. This is just something else. And I think for this, I will give you that the A in chav means A. All right.
Okay. Too late because I've already started down a road that I want.
That's also fine. That's also fine. We're mostly just doing which one I like the most now.
Okay, I've got one.
Go ahead, Lemmy.
It's culturally heterogeneous and valuable.
Ooh, wow.
I was
Thank you so much.
I was similarly complimentary, but less with less vocabulary. I said, cool, happy, awesome, very nice.
Oh, that's a wait.
That's
I'm gonna
great.
try. I'm gonna try and do one with Charlotte's A here.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay.
So it's CHAV, which
Mm.
I'm now realizing is not going to communicate what I'm trying to communicate, which is that A is just the letter A and not a word starting
No.
with A.
I understand that.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I picked
Yeah.
up on that. And then V is tough, or VED, as you say.
Mhm.
But
Ved.
Coolly having a van.
Ooh, I do
Oh, that's
like that,
good.
Libby. I do like coolly having a van.
Men with van.
I'm having what I would say is like a borderline intrusive thought where you ever try to remember something and your brain is just shoving the wrong answer to the front of your mind repeatedly?
Uh-huh.
My brain is like 100%. If this was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or whatever, this is like final answer, slam the button, that this should be Vittles. And it shouldn't be Vittles. I don't know why, but I can't get away from Vittles.
No, keep fiddles.
Coolly having a Vittles.
Yep.
I'm just stealing.
Cooling having a Vittles.
Stealing Libby's and adding Vittles.
It's honestly pretty close. Having is kind of close. It's Charlotte has a vagina. That's what you were looking for. Here. This is we're finishing off on my dream. All right. Libby, you do win, but only by 1 point. Eli, that was a great game. So congrats on
we
your
did
5
so
points.
good.
Libby with 6. And that was Charlotte's little quaint game just for fun and for laughs. Well, this has been a joy. Eli, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Maybe we'll have you
Thank you
back
for
on
having
when
me.
we know anything about snooker or darts or
Yeah.
snooker. Sorry.
Or I can find another questionably culturally insensitive thing from your past.
Yeah,
You'll be like, what was this? Yeah. No, it's been very fun. Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on, I do another podcast called What a Time to Be Alive that comes out every week. You can listen to. I am on Twitch. Unfortunately, I think me and Libby have the same streaming schedule. So abandon ship.
Yes, do not watch
New
me.
cool stream.
Yes.
That's pig_dog. And
Great
then
username.
I also have, yeah, thank you. Two people do like it. And the underscore I've tried and I can't get the regular one. I messaged him. I assume I made an assumption that it's him, but somebody who has pig dog with an underscore, I DM'd them on Twitch and I was like, is this an active account? And they blocked me. So it's blocked away from me.
Come on, big dog.
Yeah. And then also I have a stand-up special if you'd like to watch that. That's on YouTube. It's called Humble Offering. You
Amazing.
can find that.
Lovely. Well, of course, do check out the finest episode this week, where again we're talking to Mike Newby, 3-time world champion shin kicker, and you can also get a little glimpse at my chavvy short film that I was in. You can find that on our Patreon, patreon.com/what's all this then. You can also find us on Instagram and Blue Sky at what's all this pod. Email us if you want to get in touch with what's all this post at gmail.com, and watch this and all future episodes, main feed, I should say, episodes of the podcast at youtube.com/at what's all this pod. That's all of the information you need. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you, Eli, again for coming on. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. Bean?